A chubby kid nearby was scared like a lost cat, slowly inching away as Tommy readied to light the bag of puppies. Evelyn suddenly dashed in like a superhero, but her appetite kicked in again, and when she woke up, she found herself covered in wounds. Lying on beside her, Kelly cried silently like a kid who lost candy, the puppy bag reduced to ashes. Meanwhile, the chubby kid who couldn't save the puppies was filled with guilt, still haunted by the last explosion event. This puppy fiasco accelerated Evelyn's mom's decision to move, realizing Tommy's violent threats could ruin her child's life. When leaving, Kelly said goodbye, and Evelyn wrote on paper, "I will definitely come to find you," as if sealing a promise to meet again. Little did they know, after this parting, their fates would take different paths. 7 years later, Evelyn, under her mother's care, ended up attending a prestigious university. She even became the top student in her class, adored by teachers, and hadn't had a single episode of appetite issues in 7 years. Her future seemed. However, Destiny's little gremlin quietly caused trouble again. That day, Evelyn brought a girl back from the bar to her dorm. They were ready to continue their drink fest when the girl found a mysterious diary under the bed. Curious about Evelyn's childhood, she suggested they take a look, and when Evelyn casually flipped a page, the words began to dance. Suddenly, Evelyn's consciousness slipped back to that fateful day in her childhood when Tommy tortured the puppy. But this time around, she witnessed the subsequent development of the event, Tommy igniting the sack containing the puppies with fire. The next moment, Evelyn jolted awake, thinking everything that just happened felt too real. To confirm, she tossed the girl aside and sped off to the chubby kid's house. It was then she learned that the chubby kid suffered from severe anxiety due to childhood trauma, spending all day crafting at home. After a solid 30 seconds of contemplation, Evelyn asked what really happened on the day of the puppy fire. The chubby one mumbled about how he did his best that day but just couldn't cut the rope, and then suddenly mimicked Tommy's words from that day, confirming that Evelyn's time travel was real. However, just as she was about to ask for more details, the chubby kid grabbed her, echoing Tommy's words again. Clearly, that puppy incident not only left the chubby kid with mental health issues but thoroughly wrecked her life. Back at the dorm, the first thing Evelyn did was dig out all the diaries recording her lost memories, deciding this time to really explore if she could return to that day in her childhood. Sure enough, the words began to dance again, and as the surroundings crumbled rapidly, Evelyn found herself back 7 years in time. An accidentally dropped cigarette burned her belly, but there was no time to care about that now. Because the neighbor was walking towards the explosive mailbox with the child, and with a loud bang, tragedy struck. In response, several kids bolted, leaving the stunned chubby kid frozen in place, and right after that, Evelyn time traveled back. This time she experienced symptoms of nausea, perhaps a side effect of time travel. Worse, the burn from earlier left a scar on her. Moreover, this proves time travel retrieves memories and impacts her real-world self, paving the way for future tragedies. At dinner, Evelyn asked her mother about her father's medical condition, fueled by curiosity about time traveling. To her surprise, her mother became unusually stern, leaving the restaurant without finishing her meal. Outside, Evelyn pursued the question, her mother leading her into a fortune-telling shop to change the subject. But when Evelyn handed her hand to the fortune-teller, the guru was utterly stunned. Although this sounded like nonsense, Evelyn's mother suddenly went pale, hurriedly exiting the shop. After some conversation, Evelyn learned that her mother had miscarried twice before finally carrying her. This is why she was so heartbroken when the fortune-teller said her child didn't belong in this world. Evelyn comforted her mother but doubted herself, wondering if one without full memories could be truly themselves. After all, what does it mean to be your true self? So to recover her lost memories, she sought out her childhood crush, Kelly. But little did she expect, after 7 years, Kelly was a completely different person. At that moment, Kelly was working as a waitress at a fast food restaurant, balancing 4 plates with one hand. But as she turned around, she accidentally bumped into a coworker, prompting the boss to rush over at the sound. Strangely, a nearby customer shamelessly reached out for the magical pearl. Faced with it all, Kelly could only smile, as if she had long been accustomed to such absurdity. After her shift, Evelyn found Kelly, who recognized her at once. After a brief hello, Evelyn eagerly wanted to ask what happened on that day 13 years ago in the basement. But that was the wound Kelly least wanted to touch. Recalling that day brought her tremendous pain. "Do you really want to know?" she mused. "Oh dear, is everything okay now? If I'm great now, why didn't you call me? Why not let me run free?" Evelyn decided to stop disturbing her life, but the next day, bad news arrived. "You know what? My sister said, that jerk. She cried on the phone for an hour yesterday. She killed herself tonight. She's gone. I came to Kelly's funeral, bringing that letter that was 7 years late. It said I will come back for you." Ironically, in 7 years, Evelyn had never looked for Kelly. And more ironically, in their first meeting after 7 years, Evelyn had become the indirect cause of Kelly's death.